Hey guys, how's it going? A couple funny things that I saw when I was browsing last night. It was a little too late to make a video then, but I'm doing it now. You remember these Lord of the Ring gift bundles? Yeah, these were the ones that famously Watsy was pre-dumping below wholesale price in February of 2023. I made the first video about it and put it out on the community tab, put it out to my patrons, made several videos because the sale went on for quite a while. And eventually they would lower the pre-dump price. And so Amazon does that price match guarantee thing where you automatically get the lowest price that something is sold at during a pre-order. And so we ended up getting these for $59 each, and here they are, 18 months later, now selling for 4 times that. So hopefully a lot of you guys got in on this at the time. Again, this was one of their most famous idiotic pre-dumps, undercutting distribution, undercutting stores before the product had even come out. And again, this was in February of 23, and the Lord of the Rings expansion didn't come out until June or July. So it was several months earlier, and they were out there pre-dumping. Really nice return on it, of course. Part of the reason for that is every one of them is guaranteed to contain a copy of the One Ring and a borderless copy. It's funny, I looked out there yesterday, and the just plain version of this with a regular modern magic border on it is more expensive than this. So there's actually a discount for this borderless one because of all the copies that have undoubtedly been pulled out of those gift bundles. So $88 for just this one card that's guaranteed in every gift bundle box, helping to hold up the price. But that kind of brings up a point that, you know, when they either inevitably ban the One Ring or they reprint it, probably the price of these boxes is going to suffer a bit. You know, there's a lot of people who say the One Ring needs to be banned out of modern. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't have an opinion on that. But it does get a lot of chatter every time there's a ban announcement, and it still doesn't include the One Ring because it is definitely format warping. And eventually you'll either see it get banned or you'll see it get reprinted, one or the other. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about today, holy geez, $850. And when I saw this last night, it was even nuttier because it was all the way up to $999 for the cheapest one. Now, last night when I first saw this, there were only 5 sellers still left out here. And you see a bunch in the last 12, 15 hours have added a bunch more boxes up here, including this one guy who's like, no, I'll just take $90 less than the next lowest for some reason. Um, so it's gotten a lot of people's attention, people who had these boxes back in the closet and said, whoa, they suddenly spiked up to $1,000 a box, and they've gone and pulled a couple boxes out of the closet and listed them up for sale here last night and this morning. But of course, you can see the higher volume here in the blue bars. The blue bars are sales volume. And so you can see how it's been pretty high for every one of these little 3-day periods. That's how big the bucket is for each of the bars. It's 3 days wide. And you can see they're selling about 7, 8, 9 boxes a day for, nearly a month now. And that's really cleaned out the supply. I had looked at these about a week ago, just curious, and seen that the market price and the lowest ask price was up to about $700. And then last night I came through just looking at some other stuff and decided to come by and check this again. And the lowest was $9.99. So really surprising how fast these have gone. The regular Lord of the Rings collector box, the first one, the green box with Frodo on the front, it's selling what, about 550, 650 right now. So it hasn't quite come up like this, but of course the reason for that is the serialized movie poster cards. And you can see that most of these are out of stock, and the cheapest ones that are actually in stock are running $1,000. This goes back to something I said maybe a week or two ago. I posted a video about the fact that WotC had already printed 140,000 serialized cards, and that one of the things they really needed to do was make the serialized series no more than about 50, maybe 100, preferably 25s and more 101s, things like that, so that when you get a serialized card, it's actually special. It's not one of 500 of a junk card, make it a lot more exclusive because it'll drive prices. And here's the proof. These are numbered of 100. They are very rare, and you can see what it's done to the prices. The individual cards are selling for $1,000. And you can see some of these actually have listed market prices, meaning there's been enough completed sales that it will show a market price. It takes several, but you can see that market price $9.99, $1,022, $900, $1,044, $972, $925. So pretty much across the board with all of these cards are selling for $1,000 or more for a modern card printed in 2023. Of course, this $30,000 serial numbered borderless poster One Ring. Okay, good luck. I hope you get it, but I don't know if yeah, oof. So the point though is the reason that these collector boxes are selling for $1,000 last night, for $700, $800, $900 for the last month, again for a product printed in late 2023, is because the chase cards had real value. Because the chase cards chosen to be in there were serialized cards, and the serialized cards were in a series of 100 each. That's what WotC needs to do with serialization. Don't water it down so much. And already having had 140,000 serialized cards in barely 2 years, it's just way too many. They need to keep those numbers down to keep the value in there, to keep the chase going, and to keep box prices going up over the long period of time. Remember, for a long time, you could get these boxes in the 200s and even the 300s. That's where I bought all of mine, was in the 200 to 300 to high 300 range. And now they've moved up. So nobody was going to miss out on these. Nobody was going to have to pay $1,000 to get their hands on it and be excluded and miss out because they couldn't afford it. It had plenty of time for people to buy them at the lower prices. And then eventually, as they've started drying up and as the demand for those serialized poster cards has strengthened and the market has seen just how rare they are, then the boxes have come up to follow. And this is the template that WotC really, really needs to use on this kind of product, on serialization in general going forward. So hopefully you guys bought these back 18 months ago when I was pounding the table that, hey, this is a great pre-dump. I bought 12, which was the maximum Amazon would let you buy on one account. So I only have 12. I know I talked to some of my patrons at the time back then who run multiple Amazon accounts to buy things and take advantage of stuff like that. And I remember specifically one guy who maxed out multiple accounts buying these. So you know who you are. Congratulations. So up by 4x. Very nice. Let me know what you think, guys. I'll have some other things coming in the next couple of days. Some interesting announcements. I want to do a kind of a long, rambling update video on general stuff with the business, with the channel, everything else. So stay tuned, guys. Thanks to everyone who makes this content possible, especially my very generous supporters on Patreon. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and join me on Final Trade.